podcast. Yeah, this is a podcast that will actually be uploaded over to my Spotify, which following that, my podcast, which is Daily Dose of Justin. Well, following that podcast of mine would be very helpful and I would be very thankful for help of that. And yeah, so even way, way back in a lot of teenage years of all of us, we are spend it doing stuff that we either like maybe because sometimes I guess even way back we hope we wish that we can get our teenage years back, but yeah, you're only a teenager once, and yeah, even if, like, for example, if you're doing stuff that maybe th- there might be some things you might regret as a teenager, or even when it comes to even certain things like doing, well, either not spending all your teenage years either doing nothing or I'm not sure how to word this really, but if there is a lot of if I tend to repeat myself, but this is a podcast that I thought I would actually make. So even, for example, if you're wanting to become a YouTuber or something, and even way back when, if you're a YouTuber and even for any hobbies that you would either spend all your life doing as a teenager and even wishing that you can get those years back, but then even either, well, wishing your high school years could be over, but at the same time, you think to yourself that you wish you can have those years back, but and wishing you could have those years back would be something that either even sometimes you would have flashbacks to, well, being in high school or something, and even hanging out with friends and all that, and even having less responsibilities compared to being a teenager, and even being an adult where you would have more responsibilities and thinking that, oh, you thought like life would be easy. You thought to yourself when you're like a teen, but realizing that sometimes work can be fun, or sometimes work doesn't need to be fun. And, or, so yeah, I'm trying my best to, I'm trying my best with this podcast. So if this is taking, if I am having a lot of pauses or just trying to process my thoughts of what to say, bear with me here. And yeah, even if there is sometimes when you were a teen and you would think to yourself, oh, I wish I had those years of my life back. And yeah, which even, or for example, even if you would just spend them very fast, or even either even going back to go, if you like had to go back in time and tell your younger self, oh, I guess be careful how you spend your money or something, or because even whenever you do get your paycheck or something like that, you wish you would just spend your money a bit more wisely. And because I guess in the end is something that I would tell myself is to be careful how to spend your money. That's something I would tell my younger self. And I don't know why, like, this podcast seemed a bit better in my head. Like, I thought I knew what I was gonna say, but yeah. So I might keep this podcast up, or it's just, yeah, this podcast, I think I might keep it up, or, well, let's continue still this podcast. So, yeah, even there would be some days where, even back in the day, even life before cell phones, you would either play outside until the street lights come on, and but I guess the moral of the story is Well, try not to rush time and live your life in the moment. But I guess that's enough out of me, and yeah, so bye bye.